That's what we're doing today. We're cooking. We're gonna be playing some blues guitar. Where did I put my slide? There's my slide. Good. Got my slide. Got my cheese. I've just been grating some cheese, getting things ready because it's a cooking stream today. It's a cooking and a blues stream today. We're gonna make a thin crust New York style pizza. Get the oven preheating to 500. That's what I do. Little oven's kind of hard to see the numbers on. There we go. Oven's heating. I got a pizza steel in the oven for the pizza. My cheese ground up. Let's get a little music going here. Background music. Hey, Gira, what's going on, lady? Thanks for stopping in to the Mad Kitchen. Good to see you. As always, I hope things are going well. Welcome all. I see that we do have at least a few viewers in here already, so awesome sauce. New York style pizza, we're doing it. Let's do some more cheese, because I'm gonna need a lot more cheese than that. Because cheese is a beautiful thing. Oh, cheese. All right. And who doesn't like grating a little cheese? Actually, I know a lot of people don't like grating cheese. I really don't mind it. My buddy Steve, back from high school, that was many, many moons ago, he loved grating cheese. But most people don't like cheese grating. Our oven is pretty awesome, Gira. It is pretty freaking awesome. It's actually got the two sides on it. You see the main oven part, and then the little one on the side is great for like loaves, banana bread, making, any of that smaller kind of stuff. It's pretty good. It came with the house when we got it, so we're happy with it. All right, and you do not like grating cheese. Snifferzig, thank you for following. Much appreciated. I don't think I've seen you on our stream before, so thanks for coming in. This is not my normal thing for anyone who may be watching this for the first time. Normally, I'm down in a much more concert environment. I've got lights set up, and we do a lot of hard rock music. The music you're hearing in the background right now is one of mine. Is that we're listening to my 54th album, which is called Someone Else's Memories. And I would tell you the name of this song, but I have no idea what this song is titled because I don't remember all my song titles. Okay, I think I got enough cheese there. Cool. Hey, I'm gonna leave that just in case. Decide to grate up a little more. We'll set that off to the side. Now here I have got this completely sanitized, so the food that falls on it is safe. I will be using this to knead my dough in a little bit. I've got 3/4 cups of water here, and we use warm water because that helps to activate the yeast. You don't want to go with hot water because that can actually kill the yeast. So you just want to kind of nice lukewarm water. I did set this all up. I've got two photographic lights over here, and then there's another one hidden back here by the stairwell that you can't see. And I will be switching when I go to the oven. Oops, let me get, I will be switching cameras. So I do have a bit of lighting on that as well. So yeah, it's set up pretty nicely. Okay, so we're gonna throw in just a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Into our lukewarm water. All right, we're gonna grab some yeast. And we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of yeast into our water as well. And then this needs to sit for about 10 minutes to get the yeast activated. So it just does its thing. It's on its own now. All right. tried a lot of times to make pizza crust with wheat flour, whole wheat flour, and I've never worked it out. I'm just gonna stir this up a little bit. Make sure all that yeast gets activated. And we will not be doing a rise and re-kneading and punching and all that with our yeast dough today. So it's a fairly quick crust as yeast crusts go. Okay. We need 2 cups of all-purpose white flour. I prefer to use unfortified flour. We kind of discovered this on accident. Sarah has some food sensitivities, and one of her sensitivities is to folic acid, which is what they fortify flour with. And it took her about a decade and a half to figure it out that the folic acid and salicylates in food were causing her trouble, and it caused her all kinds of trouble. So I also found that I just like this flour better. It seems to cook, I don't know, just better. I like it. Well, I am using the Bob's Red Mill organic flour, and that is not fortified. What am I looking for? Salt. So we've got 3/4 cup of water, 1 teaspoon warm water, 1 teaspoon of yeast, and 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Okay, now we're gonna throw 1/2 teaspoon of salt into our flour. And we're gonna mix it all up. Okay, now, this has just gotta sit for 10 minutes. So this is a very good time to pull out the guitar slide and play a little guitar. Turn down the Mad Poet here and turn him up over here. Thanks for coming in. Well, I don't got guitar picks. Well, I guess I'm doing fingerstyle today then. Yes, it is a pretty sweet kitchen we got here. little slide blues there. All right, we'll do more of that. We're gonna do more of that. So what we're looking for, this probably needs a couple more minutes. We're not in bad shape here. This starts to kind of, I don't know if I can actually get this into the camera in any reasonable, I cannot show you that. It starts to kind of get like a little scrim on the surface kind of thing. Starts to, the yeast kind of does stuff. Try it out, you'll see. You love Bob's. Oops. Bob's? Bob's. Oh, Bob's Red Mill Flour. Yes. Well, we know where my mind is. All right. And so yeah, we got Snifferzig, we got Gira, we got Renee, we got Ender Peach Live. Thank you all very much for coming in. Anyone else who happens to be watching on any of the various platforms upon which we are streaming, welcome to what we do. You are appreciated. Let's see here. Checking a couple things out. All right. I don't have nearly as much screen real estate as normal. I've got a single monitor here. Usually down in the studio when I'm doing the concerts, I've got a fairly large monitor. It's a 42-inch, really it's huge, monitor. And then I've got two other smaller ones off to each side. So I've got stuff going on in all three of them. So it's a little bit weird to kind of adjust my real estate here to what I'm working with. You know, I always figure it out. It's kind of what I do. Okay, so now I start with a big bowl for a reason, and this will become apparent hopefully in just a moment. Rolling pin. All right, so we're going to mix this together, and then we're going to knead it. And you don't need to knead this dough quite as long as you would if you were making like an actual loaf of bread. Oh, Therese is here. Hey, thanks for coming in, Therese. Yeah, we got people. I definitely got some people from both YouTube and Twitch today. I don't know if anyone's watching from any of the others, Trovo or D Live or Facebook or Picarto or I don't even know all the websites I'm streaming to. But the kneading of it, if you don't knead the dough, it'll still come out, it'll taste the same, but it will be really crumbly. It tends to fall apart, and it can cook kind of hard that way. So the kneading basically works the gluten in the flour and makes the dough nice and smooth. So it gives it a much better texture. And let me get the background music going again here. Fade that in. Here's some Mad Poet in the background. So first we add these together and just kind of stir it all up. So this at first, I'll show you how this kind of looks here. Oh, no, the lighting is not set up for close-ups at all. But you can see that it's kind of, it doesn't really stick together at first. Hopefully that's coming, yeah, looks like a leaky month again. It doesn't stick together at all. So that's what the kneading process is actually about, is it gets this to be just a nice, smooth, textured ball of dough. And it's good to have a bit of extra flour for your hands for this part, just so you're not sticking to the dough, because there will be a bit of moisture in there, of course. And so right now this is all just like flaked apart, so I'm basically just starting to push it together and get it to stick to itself. So I start this in the bowl because that way I'm not chasing stuff all over the table trying to get it to stay in one place. So kneading away. And if I were making like a normal, like a loaf of bread or a normal pizza crust, like my thick crust, which for my thick crust and deep dish pizzas, I make both of those with a beer batter crust. And I normally make those, I make the dough in my bread machine because it's just so much easier. You know, it's about an hour and a half process probably to, get all of your ingredients together, knead the dough, let it rise, re-knead it, rise, punch it, re-rise, and then finally shape it. And so I just let the machine take care of all that. It's really much easier that way. But those, I make both my thick crust and deep dish with the same, what am I trying to say? With the same recipe. So I usually do this, just listening to music, not talking about it. And so those are both a beer batter crust. And I've tried beer a few times in this one, and it just doesn't come out. The silence. Yes, I was playing guitar just a moment ago. I do have my guitar back there, the silence. And normally my shows are concerts, which I love doing, but today we're making a thin crust pizza, kind of a New York style pizza, and we're also doing, when I have to wait on things, and we're doing some slide blues guitar. So there will be a little more guitar today. Okay, so now I've got this dough to where it's basically all sticking together. So now, and if you don't have, I sanitize my whole counter first so I can just knead my dough right on there. A lot of people prefer to use like a pull-out wooden cutting board or whatever. Totally good. And so if you've never kneaded dough before, then you basically, you kind of fold it over itself and then push it in on itself with the heel of your hand. Finn, hey buddy, what's going on? Yeah, we got a pretty awesome kitchen here. It's good for making pizza in, and that's what kitchens are for. Some people think kitchens are for making other types of food as well, and those people are freaking crazy. Because what else do you need? It's got all 4 food groups. It's a food group of its own, and it's amazing. So pizza, it's really all you. There are 2 things you need in life, and I'm doing both of them. You need guitars, and you need pizza. And that's what today is all about. And so for anyone who is just coming in, if you are interested in my music streams, on Fridays, I do music streams twice. I do it at noon and 8 o'clock, both in the Pacific time zone. So if you are in the non-Pacific time zone, feel free to adjust your times. Because if you don't, you'll be there at the wrong time. I know, it's crazy how this math works in my head, isn't it? Okay. Now I've also found so my oven is heating up right now to 500 degrees, and my other pizzas, the thick crust and the deep dish, I cook at about 375. So this one doesn't cook nearly as long, but a lot hotter. And in there I've got a pizza steel heating up, which is, a lot of people are more familiar with a pizza stone. I use a pizza stone for my thick crust. And I use a cast iron, actually this cast iron skillet for my deep dish. And I find that I really like the pizza steel for the thin crust. And it's the only one that I preheat. A lot of people preheat their pizza stones. I don't. And that works well for my recipes. So now we're getting this nice smooth ball of dough here. So we're just about done kneading this. All right, yeah, I'm gonna call that good. And from where we started, you can see that we just got this nice smooth surface now. Okay, I think I'm done with the flour. I like to put things away as soon as I'm done with them. Keep my kitchen in order. clean as you go kind of guy. Got that from my parents, mom, dad, if you're watching. Thank you for teaching me to clean as I go. I like to keep things in order. Put that in the sink, put that in the sink. This is my pizza stone. You can see that it's fairly well used. And this one's actually pretty new. Unfortunately, it was a complete accident. It had been left on the stove and a burner got turned on and cracked it. My other one was very well broken in. Oh, I do need my flour still. Fortunately, I know where it's at. So when I'm using my pizza steel, I'll usually roll out my dough on here, and then I also transfer it back to this as soon as I'm done, because the pizza steel is so hot, it's just gonna keep cooking it. So as soon as I'm done with that, as soon as it comes out of the oven, I transfer it back onto here so it doesn't keep getting cooked. So I roll this out nice and flat. This takes a little bit, and one thing I find here is I tend to keep flipping this, so I'll kind of reflour it and flip it so that it's not going to be sticking to the pizza stone while I do this. Anyone who doesn't use cast iron needs to have their kitchen revoked. I'm glad you're on par with the cast. I love cast iron. That one I got at a Goodwill for like $12 or something, $10. And it's probably like a $50, $60 cast iron skillet. And I just, they're really easy to redo the seasoning on them. You put them through your cleaning cycle on your oven, and then they come out basically brand new. All the gunk gets burned off and they come out looking new, and then you oil them up and re-season them. It's pretty easy. And I'm not one of these people with my cast irons that I'm like, oh gosh, you can't use a metal, spatula on it. I beat the crap out of my cast iron because I figure, hey, if it gets screwed up, I'll just redo it again. It's easy. Stuff is not hard to do. Alright. So like I said, this takes a little bit to, it tends to kind of stretch and then kind of come back in on itself. So I gotta work it for a while. But we can see it's getting there. And this one I find, I don't know if there's something I'm doing that I should do different or that I'm not doing that I should do, but when I make my thick crust with the beer batter crust from scratch, then it just rolls out real quick and easy. So I don't know if it's just this recipe or if it's my bad haircut or what's going on. But we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. Sticking to my pizza stone, so we're gonna flip her again. I haven't listened to this album in ages. I've never performed this album either. This is one that I need to work up a light show for and get this into rotation. Only metal utensils for cooking. Nothing wrong with that. We do have metal, wood, and silicone, rubber utensils of all different kinds. This is the first time that Sarah and I have lived together in 3 places, and this is the first time we've actually had enough room for all of our stuff, so it's like amazing. And I generally try to get mine to be as circular as possible, and this one's kind of fighting me on it. I got this weird little ridge over here. I'm trying to work my way around that. right. Okay, so let's have a little fun here. Just anyone who wants to in your chat, pineapples on pizza, yes or no? First thing that comes into your head, go ahead and go. I love this one. Obscure mysticism cults, no. Finn, yes. Gira, yes. Renee, oh, Renee is a no. Interesting. I didn't know that my own daughter doesn't do pineapples on. And she's an authority. She does pizza for a living, which makes her an angel. So the fact that she's not working and she's coming and watching me make pizza makes her even more of an angel. She is the most perfect daughter of all time. Therese says no and will burn my house down. Okay. And Finn is doubling down on his yes. I love it. Love it. And obscure mysticism cults, rad username. Thanks for coming in. I want to say I've seen you before, possibly in maybe, but I don't. If it is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. I think we're just about ready here. So, fortunately, my pizza steel is the exact same diameter as my pizza stone. So, if I roll it out properly here, and I set it down properly over there, everything will work out just fine. It doesn't always happen that I set it down properly. So, Renee does not do pineapples in general. I really like pineapples. And my answer to pineapples on pizza is yes. I do like pineapples on pizza. Renee and I largely have the same taste in food. We're both extremely terrible, picky little eaters. But apparently we don't agree on everything. It's all right. So I've been told that if you get air bubbles in your crust, you made your pizza wrong. I still think air bubbles in your crust can be kind of fun. But let's see if I can make this happen correctly, according to the pedantics. All right, and definitely poking some holes in there with a fork is one of the best ways to keep those out of there. All right, where are we at here? So basically, once I go over to the other side, I'm gonna pull my pizza steel out, and I'm gonna start putting everything together. And as soon as the crust hits the pizza steel, the pizza starts cooking. So I have to work very quickly on that side. I'm gonna get some of this excess dough off my hands. I thought I had a towel here somewhere. Bet I have one in this drawer right here, which is the drawer we use for keeping towels in. I know, how did I think to look there? It's just crazy Randy thinking. That's what I do. And Renee says it is a texture thing for her. And Obscure Mysticism Cults has been here before. Good, I'm glad I remembered that. Glad you're digging it. David! Hey, David Merrill is on from Facebook. Now, I know that the Facebook messages do not show up on the other formats, and I don't think that the other formats show up on Facebook either. I see them, but David and I used to be in a band together called Hades Machine. We are fellow guitar players. He's an extremely cool guy, and I actually dedicated a song to him on one of my albums. Yeah, thanks for coming in, David. It's great to see you. Absolutely. So this particular pizza that I'm making today, David, is not the kind that you had. You had my thick crust. This is my thin crust, and it's a bit different. So let's see. I need to slide over. I'm gonna get the guitar out of the way, because this guitar I've had longer than any of my other guitars. My parents bought this for me when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old. So I've had it for about 40 years now. because I'm freaking ancient. Okay, so David's message do show up from Facebook to Twitch, cool, but I don't think that the Twitch messages show up on Facebook. Awesome, okay. Okay, so the Facebook messages do show to other people, but I'm pretty sure, okay, whatever, doesn't matter. So David, if you're wondering who else I'm talking to, I'm actually streaming to 11 different websites right now, and I'm sure most of them are just completely empty, which is fine. Okay, what do I gotta do here? Let's get the cheese that we already grated. Let's switch cameras. And head over to the other side. There's the other side. I'm gonna bring the microphone over here with us so that we hopefully will have reasonably good audio quality for this part. Welcome to the other side of the kitchen that you saw from a different angle just a moment ago. Isn't this exciting? Okay, so here we are getting ready. And as I said, when I pull out when I pull out the pizza steel, I usually set it up on top of this so it's a little easier to work with. Once I put the crust on there, I have to work really quick. And you know what? Pepperoni. I'm not sure if I got a pepperoni. Let me check my pepperoni. How much do we got here? I don't know. I'll see if I can make do with what I got. For those who are wondering, yes, I make a lot of pizza. Grab a knife to open this with which to open this. All right. You like my pepperoni stash there, Renee? All right. So what I do here is I get everything ready to go onto the crust so I can work as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna transfer this on, and then I actually am, on this pizza, I'm not gonna put on pizza sauce. I'll often use some normal tomato paste type stuff. But in this case, I'm actually gonna use olive oil and then Italian seasoning, crushed red peppers. That's what I use in lieu of a sauce, and it's really, really tasty. It gives a bit of a bite to your pizza. Definitely a different feel. I like both. I like the traditional pizza sauce, and I also like this quite a lot. Okay, and this is where I normally look around like this to be like, okay, what's gonna happen? Because I do want to work quickly. So I'm gonna go pizza sauce. I'm gonna put a layer of cheese. I'm gonna put a layer of pepperoni. I'm gonna put another layer of cheese. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven. Sometimes I'll put a layer of, a very light layer of Parmesan, grated Parmesan with the chop, but I did not grate any Parmesan today. So, pepperoni and jalapeno, yes. One thing that I really like to do, so Sarah and I moved to Eastern Washington. We're in the middle of nowhere. Or as I like to say, we're not actually in the middle of nowhere, but we're within walking distance of the middle of nowhere. But when we lived over on the west side, Western Washington, I had a couple pizza places I would go to regularly. And one thing I really like to do, and the places just knew this. I would go in, I would order pizza, and they would always hide one slice of a jalapeno somewhere in my pizza. And so I'd just be eating along and be like, oh, there it is. Oh, it's so fun. I do that with my Subway sandwiches, any of that stuff. But now that we live in the middle of nowhere, that stuff never happens anymore. Watching this makes you want to make pizza. Well, you know what, bud? There will be a playback video available on both YouTube and Twitch. So feel free to rewatch, follow along, and I think that you're on my Discord. The recipe is in my Discord, and I'll put the recipe back up in the Discord so it's fresh. So for anyone who wants this, feel free to hit us on the Discord, and the recipe will be there, and then you can follow along with the video, because this is what we do. I think I'm ready to hit it hard and hit it fast and make this pizza happen, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. I'm gonna do some more slide blues guitar, because that's what this is about today. See, the problem with hiding my own jalapeno is that I know myself so well that I'll be able to figure out where I put it. It's like I talk to myself all the time, and most of the time I even know what I'm gonna say back. It's crazy. But I do like talking to myself because I enjoy dealing with high-class people. All right. Definitely when dealing with 500-degree slabs of steel, use pot holders for your own well-being. And this is exactly why I set this on top of cast iron skillet, so it's easier to get to when I'm putting it in and out. Okay, so at this point, I don't have to be real. It's once the crust hits the steel, then we're in a hurry. I'm just looking back here because I want to see. I'm not sure how well you guys can actually see this. I don't know if my lighting is the best over here. And also, if you're wondering about the fact that these lights are going on and off, that's not actually happening in real life. So what it is you're seeing the difference between the frame rate on my camera and the 60 cycle electrical cycle thing. So it appears that they're not actually going on and off. There's not a streak of light going up and down the wall here. That's not real. That's just electricity doing that. Okay, pizza time. Time to hit it. Transferring this over is not the easiest. Took a bit of practice. I like to get it right over the top here. Definitely feeling the heat coming off of that. And then carefully do that. Now I'm just gonna get the olive oil on my hands. I'm gonna start rubbing that in like that. And I'm pretty sure this won't come across on the camera, but already I'm starting to see the pizza crust kind of bubbling. And I would suggest the first few times you do this, don't do it with a 500-degree pizza steel. Just, cook it on a cookie sheet first. It will still come out good, I promise. It will. And so working with the whole 500-degree quarter-inch thick steel thing, that adds a level of difficulty that I would say make a dozen or so of these pizzas, just like I said, on a cookie sheet. And you'll be fine, because you're much less likely to burn yourself. I have not burned myself on the pizza steel yet, and yet can be a very important word here. All right, so I'm gonna put some red pepper on there. And I like quite a lot of red pepper. That helps with the bite. All right. And normally I have all my lids open first too, but I didn't do that today. Fortunately, lids are not very hard to open, so that's not a huge deal. And I use my Italian seasoning quite liberally when I do this. So this is basically in lieu of an actual pizza sauce, and I think it gives a great flavor. So I will not be responding to your comments for a moment because I'm not going to take the time to turn around. So I'm going to put a layer of cheese here. Now how you do your toppings, of course, is completely up to you. There are even some sick, twisted, weird individuals who are hell-bent on destroying society as we know it, who put mushrooms on their pizza. And that's just gross. I don't even need to ask that question, because that's just gross. Anyone who says pizza is good with mushrooms is wrong. It's demonstrable, it's proven, it's scientific. It says so in the Constitution of every country that's ever had a constitution. So there you go. All right. Now we start throwing our pepperoni on, and I like to put my pepperoni on quite tightly. Sometimes even overlap a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Along with keep a slice or two along the way. All right. Because you're going to use pepperoni, I mean, use a lot, right? That's what pepperoni's for. I'm just glad I have enough. If I have enough. I really like the fact that I've got my own music I can play in the background, because I don't have anything to worry about DMCA takedowns, because I'm actually not going to contact Twitch and complain about me using my own music, because I'm very polite to myself that way. I just got nothing to worry about. Very comfortable here. All right, moving in on completion here. Perfect. Okay, now I've got a little thicker layer crust here, cheese up on top here. And I like to make sure I get it out to the edges. And I usually try to get this part, putting the toppings on, I like to try to get this done within about 5 to 6 minutes, because that lets me not have the pizza steel do too much kind of pre-cooking, so to speak, because I definitely want the heat on top of here from the oven. A nice hot oven, 500 degrees. And then what I've found is that at this point, because this has been cooking for a few minutes already, it typically needs about 9 minutes in the oven at 500. Using very great caution with the very hot and heavy piece of steel. And we'll turn our timer on. Boom, timer, turn it on. My timer's kind of slow to get up to, right? There we go. Okay, so that's set for 9 minutes. Boom. Let's get our pepperoni put back in the refrigerator here. For those of you who thought I wasn't a weirdo, now you know better. And I never leave myself a lot of room here for the fridge. Okay. And let's come back over to this side. Well, hello. Now let's turn this down and play some guitar. Oh yes, it's guitar time, kids. It's guitar time in the Mad Poet House. Put that back out of camera range here. Black olives on pizza. I like olives a lot. And you know, some people will kind of talk about, like, you know, how can you like olives if you don't like mushrooms? They're so similar. But olives have their own very distinctive taste. And it's good. It's good. Base Philosophy Mom says pepperoni is life. That is true. That is absolutely true. Oh, hide it. You know, that's actually a good idea. I could hide it and then spin the pizza a few times. That's a, you know, I may have to pick up some jalapenos and try that out. Pizza on hard mode. Some people do no cheese on. Oh yeah, no cheese on pizza is an outrage. The cheese is the glue of the pizza. That's completely true. And again, this is a pizza angel. We have a pizza angel in our stream today. That's her opinion is inviolate. That is true, except on apparently pineapples. Mushrooms are not allowed on pizza. Also true. And yeah, good correction. What do I think about? I answered that. Olives on pizza is good. Not a pizza if there's no cheese. That is also true. And Gira will fight you. She's feisty. I know Gira. We know each other well in real life, and she is feisty. And you have a dairy allergy? No pizza for you. That's correct. That should be spoken like the character of the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. No pizza for you! Absolutely true. Server Lindy Alzafefa. Yes, it's a nice kitchen, isn't it? I believe you've been here once or twice, Sarah Verlindi Alzofefa, since you live here with me. And Sarah's actually over on the west side right now. She's doing work stuff. And yes, I know I am married to a mushroom lover, and it is sinful, and I repent nightly for it. She's a disgusting human being. What can I say? Sarah, thank you very much for coming in. It is always good to see you, even if on an online format. Though I do get to see you more than most people, so that is a privilege that I've got. Not the best way for me to do harmonics on a steel string. They were getting it. If anyone wants to see my favorite all-time slide blues guitar player, look up Joanna Carpenter. She is incredible. I posted a video of her in my Discord under the section The GOAT, which is short for greatest of all time. She is so amazing on slide guitar. The woman is just getting after it in a way that you don't see guitar players doing very often. Go check her out. I am not a great slide player. I'm faking it. I'm relying on the fact that I know my way around a guitar pretty well to kind of do some bluesy stuff. And I know the music theory behind the blues and why it works. But I am not really a slide player on that level. And so go check her out. She's so incredible. I don't think I've ever had green olives on PC. See, Sarah and I, as you can see, do not agree on mushrooms and olives because she's great, but you can't expect her to be right about everything. And those two things, she's wrong. Never be too much pizza, that is true. down to the timer. Stand. There we are. Okay, time to pull this thing out. Get our other Mad Poet music going again. All right, I'm actually gonna back up one song. The song I'm playing right now in the background is called "Meet Me Where the Sunrise Touches the Water." It's dedicated to my friend Wendy, and it's definitely my favorite off of this particular album. Okay, so we're ready to bring this thing out of the oven. We're gonna put it back up on our cast iron here. What am I looking for? It's good to have tools to pull it off of the, what's it? Oh yeah. Oh, this is good. Let's get that other camera going. Oh, this is not hurting my feelings at all. Turn the oven off. I'm going to, fortunately with the pizza steel, I was surprised, the pizza steel does not tend to stick at all. Push that over there. Oh, yeah. And here we are, gang. Yes, beautiful golden cheesy goodness. I concur. All right. So then, cut her on up into however many pieces you wish. I usually do 8 pieces. Sometimes I cut it into 6, 12, normally 8. And this one, I'm gonna say this is looking like one of my better creations here. I've definitely done worse. I don't know if it's my best, but it is toward the top of the list. I wish I could share this with you guys. I really do. That's not me being facetious. I would love to be able to share this with you guys. 8, 10, 12, 16 slice. Yeah. Yeah, I did answer that question. No worries. Let's see. Sarah says she's right about bald guys being good looking. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Oh, yeah. You know what? Actually, that's something, if you guys want to have a little fun, if you're on Twitch, this will only work on Twitch. I think it'll only work, I don't think it'll work on YouTube. And I'm not even sure if I can do it here. Let me try. So if you type colon, no, sorry, oh, it's not working for me here. Okay, so if you type exclamation point 8 ball, and I type 9. So in Twitch, in the Twitch chat, you type exclamation point 8 ball, and then ask it a question like, is this pizza good? And it did not work. Oh wait, Streamlit, yes. Okay, so the 8 ball came up and said, sure, and put an emoji up. So the magic 8 ball on Twitch thinks this will be good. And so anyone on Twitch should be able to do that. Are mushrooms good? The 8 ball says, yesterday it would have been, Yesterday it would have been a yes, but today it's a yep. So Stream Elements 8-Ball is wrong about mushrooms. Wrong! I agree with Miss Daughterface. And we will not be saying my daughter's nickname for me because it is inappropriate. My daughter and I have a very good relationship, and yes. Okay, so the 8-Ball does not work on YouTube. I didn't think it would. I was pretty sure that was set up for Twitch only. Twitch is kind of the main thing. So let's give this thing the test, shall we? Again, I really wish I could share this with you guys. Oh, I may need a moment alone. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Oh, that is beautiful. The 8-Ball only does yes and no questions, unfortunately. So I'm going to I'm gonna pull something up here. If I can. I'll try something out. Video producer. And we're going to what am I trying to do here? All right, we're gonna send you guys over to be entertained by Mandy Prater. She is a favorite streamer of mine. She's absolutely awesome. She's a very cool gal, singer-songwriter type, and you guys are gonna have a freaking blast. It's gonna take a couple seconds to get this ready, and then we're sending you over. And this pizza turned out to be amazing.